Welcome to the Rebel Podcast. Today we're going on a trip and a little adventure to one of my favorite places. David and I recently went to Minneapolis, St. Paul, to the Como Park and Zoo Conservatory. It is a place that is so much fun and beautiful, and if you're a scientist at heart, you may just find your groove here. Como Park and Conservatory are a unique blend of animal and plant life, educational opportunities, and of course, community engagement that sets it apart from any other zoo or conservatory in the United States. Here are some of the things that I love most about Como Park Zoo and the conservatory that make it special. First and foremost, it's family friendly. There's free admission. And free admission doesn't mean it's subpar. No, it's right up there. There are few zoos in the United States making it accessible to families and individuals of all income levels. Their commitment to inclusivity aligns with the zoo's mission to inspire the community that values the presence of living things in our lives. The second thing I love are the diverse animal exhibits at Como Park Zoo and Conservatory. They house a wide variety of animals from all over the world, including mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and invertebrates. Oh yes, and there's this incredibly huge snake there. Visitors can observe animals in habitats that mimic their natural environments, gaining a better understanding, deeper appreciation of the behavior of the animals and birds that they watch. Marjorie McNeely Conservatory is one of the most stunning botanical oases within the zoo and in the United States, showcasing a diverse collection of plants from all over the globe. Visitors can stroll through the conservatory's various climate-controlled zones, and you can experience the beauty and diversity of plant life from tropical rainforests to an arid desert. They also have educational programs and events at Como Park Zoo and Conservatory that offers a great variety of educational programs for all ages. They are interactive and they include animal encounters, and they also have hands-on workshops. These programs are noted for their environmental stewardship, conservation awareness, and a lifelong appreciation for our natural world. Partnering with local organizations to provide educational opportunities that support the conservation efforts and foster a sense of connection to nature. And of course, the sensory-friendly experiences at Como Park Zoo and Conservatory recognizes that not everyone experiences the world in the same way. To accommodate individuals on the autism spectrum, as well as their families, the zoo offers sensory-friendly early entry days and provides sensory-friendly resources throughout the facility. Another thing I love are the sustainable practices at the park and the zoo that are committed to environmental sustainability. So, if I'm going to sum it all up for you, Como Park Zoo and Conservatory stands out as a unique resource and valuable resource for the St. Paul community and the United States. It's committed to free admission, diverse animal exhibits, educational programs, community engagement, and sensory-friendly experiences. But what I can really tell you is this is a truly special place to learn, connect with nature, and inspire a lifelong appreciation for the natural world. And by the way, don't forget to check out all of the food that's grown in the Botanical Center, all kinds of spices from all over the world. Especially if you're a cook, you'll love that exhibit. A garden is where nature and imagination meet. let's go in the visitor center and take a look at this magnificent, beautiful, there's Carousel House, Botanical Center. And David's here, we're gonna go. But look at this, you can see a big blossom on the lily pad. I hope it gets to open up. But right now it's too cold. Everything's kind of taken and like going for cover here. And look at these beautiful water flowers, cannas, lilies. There aren't any fish in here though, which is kind of surprising. And today all of the elementary school kids are here and they're pretty excited. You can hear them. Oh, look at these lilies. So some of the flowers are purple, some are pink. It is just amazing. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. This is the most beautiful water lily I've ever seen in my life. So much color. And look at these, they're so vibrant. Favorite things in life are giant lily pads. And I love the African lilies. Look at these. Let's enter in the Marjorie McNeely Conservatory. Look at this beautiful waterfall coming down. Looks like volcanic rock. And we're on a nice bridge. And it goes into a pond and there's a stream that runs through here to keep a nice constant flow of humidity for these trees, for the staghorn ferns. Look at the moss on the rocks. The staghorn fern is an epiphyte, meaning it commonly takes root above the ground and it can grow on rocks, trees, or even buildings. I put one in my garden this year that I rescued from Menards and I loved it. Look at that. Beautiful tree fern. So if you're looking for tranquility, a place to come and relax, an experience that you might not get in your everyday, this would be one of the top things I would have on my adventure travel list. Now, decaying leaves and debris become trapped between the fronds of the bird's nest fern. This provides the fern with perfect nutrients. So it's nature's way of providing nutrients. This is the bird nest fern here. You can see it's quite lovely. And look at this. You talk about Boston ferns, look at this one. It's great. Here's the epiphyte room here, orchid house. Oh my goodness. Only the staff is allowed in here. But this must be where orchids grow that need some TLC. Look at this moss. Isn't that beautiful? It would be so nice to be able to have moss like this grow in my yard. And look at this fern. This is another bird's nest fern. And there's its little sign, cultivated. And this is a whisk fern right next to it. And this is a Japanese felt fern. I had a lot of ferns in my fern garden this year. We're getting more and more exotic ferns at the nurseries by our house, and I really enjoy ferns. They can add so much texture and peaceful tranquility. This is beautiful.
Yeah, you should have them to go like that.
I know, isn't that beautiful? I love staghorn ferns. I guess the biggest staghorn fern that they recorded in the wild was like 250 pounds. So I cannot imagine how much larger that would be than these, but it would be pretty big. We're going into another part of the beautiful, look at this ceiling, conservatory ceiling. Now this room is about 20 degrees hotter in temperature, and the humidity feels more striking in here than the room that we just left. And David is pointing out this magnificent, look at the color on this orchid. So if you enjoy orchids, I mean, this would be the creme de la creme in the house. Bird of paradise. You can see the lovely, beautiful little fountain here. It adds humidity, but I also love the sound of the music of the water. And there is the dome. And you can see the trees here are very, very tall. They're probably 20, 25, maybe even 30 feet tall. Such a nice variety of tropical plants. This is a parlor palm. And I like how they got the little street lights in here. That's very, very cool. Nice path to walk on. Nothing slippery. The Panama hat plant commonly grows in Ecuador, where its young leaves are then woven into fine hats. So there you go. These beautiful fronds and leaves are then taken and made into beautiful fine hats. So they have the Ordway Gardens, which is a Japanese collection going that way. Nice wayfinding signs, and then here is a dwarf date palm. I love date palms. They really have very beautiful fronds. They have beautiful fine leaves. I just think they're delicate, kind of like lace. This is one of my favorites. Look at the beautiful color. There's all kinds of name tags. Then this is a bromeliad section. I love these. You can literally plant these guys anywhere. Look at this guy showing off here. Look at all the color from his blossom. And it comes out of this nest-like, beautiful display. Then they have a lot of sphagnum moss in there woven around the bottom of the bromeliad. So it says here that the water collects in the centers of the bromeliads, providing a home for insects and the tadpoles of the poison dart frogs. Well, I don't think there's any poison dart frogs in here today. But definitely there's water collecting, and the bromeliads are just stunning. These are a plant that you could actually have in your house and enjoy in your garden. And here, look at this beautiful orchid. Just so delicate and buttery. If you're a person who loves pattern and vibrancy, look at these guys. They look like a prayer plant. I'm not sure what they are. They're not marked. But you gotta love it. There's a century palm. Look at that beautiful spread. And this is very true. Palms, we get a lot of stuff from palms. Palms provide food, timber, medicine, wax, rope, and oils. There's some more lovely orchids here. Really beautiful color, size. Look at these little guys. They're so miniature, so delicate. Just love the vibrant colors. And on this side, these are things you don't really see quite often unless you're in a very special place like this. So now David has gone off into this other room over here, I think. David, are we going to the Japanese garden next?
Why?
We going over to the Japanese garden?
Did you go there? Did you go around there?
Well, I saw the orchids.
Yeah, but you gotta go across around. You can't go in it, but the sunken garden's over there.
Oh, it is? I guess I missed the sunken garden portion. I was so captivated over these orchids right here. There's some very rare orchids right here. Again, look at this ground cover. Very, very delicate. That goes outside to the veranda, but it's so cold out. No way I want to go out there right now. And I like how they have teak benches, beautiful street lights.
Cal, honey, slow down. Cal, walking.
These delicate, tropical plants. These I've seen a lot in Key West. Very, very tiny, yep. Oh, so here's the sunken garden. Well, I'm glad that David brought me back over here. So can we go in here?
No, it's closed.
Oh, for crying out loud. Look at David, they got chandeliers like yours. Stars. Well, if Deborah had a garden at her house with a conservatory, this would be it right here. It's got everything I love. It's got beautiful lights. It's got tall, stately, beautiful evergreen trees. Look at the pond, a reflection pond, beautiful lily pads, and just about every kind of beautiful color that you could think of. And there's seashells. I don't know if you can see it or not, but over here to the right, there is actually, see that, seashells embedded into the flower arrangements. Over here to the left, you'll see that they have, I'm trying to get a shot of it, glass, like vases full of water, and it looks like they have, I don't know if those are cuttings or if they're water plants, but they're actually in little vases. So they have a lot of cool stuff in here. Well, unfortunately, we can't go in the sunken garden today because they're preparing for another flower show. But what a place it is. Then periodically throughout here, you can see these bark boards. But see, unless you have really high humidity in your house, it's not going to work. But look at this tree. Now there is something amazing. I've never seen this in a tree before. Doesn't that look like snakes are up in there? I love it. Well, I wanted to make sure I didn't forget this lovely little display here. So we're back where we originally started with the ferns and the epiphytes. And this has some amazing moss. Then you come up carefully, and hanging off the side of this stump is a tassel fern. And you can clearly see it's an epiphyte. It's growing off of the moisture. And you can clearly see how they've wired them up to the tree so they can display it properly. I also have these ferns in my yard. I love these. This ground cover is a weeping broad buckler fern, and from Europe. Beautiful. So if you love ferns, this is definitely the room for you. And you can hear the tranquility that this room offers. So this is a cool room with high humidity. Beautiful ferns. Ferns from all over the world. Asia, Central America. My personal favorite, these staghorn ferns. They get so huge. Now you can look right down in the center of a bird's nest fern. A bronze Venus fern, maidenhair fern right here. You'll oftentimes see these for sale at Lowe's or Menards. They're delicate. They also make a good container plant. But I love the moss growing all over the rocks and the tranquility. So this is the giant, here we go, Dune tree. This is in wet forest. So you see this long, I think it's like seed pods coming off. I don't think it's fruit, but it looks like there's snakes up in it. I find this tree fascinating. I've never seen one. I guess I've never been in a jungle where these things are. And this says these cycads are living fossils were common in the Jurassic period 150 million years ago. So all I gotta say is I love this tree. I think it's probably one of my new favorites. Totally off the chart of coolness. Fashions Carousel was built in 1914 by the Philadelphia Toboggan Company and has spent 75 years at the Minnesota State Fair, just 1 mile west of this site. And they rescued this in 1988, put this building up and rescued it, of course. And there it is inside. What a lovely treat. Sorry for the reflection. The Carousel House is to the left of the visitor center, and it is open daily so that you can go in and enjoy this beautiful antique carousel. So in addition to the botanical center that we just went through, there's also a zoo here. And this is the entrance to go into the Como Zoo. So here we are. Where have you seen ducks, mallards, hanging out with pink flamingos? Well, here they're doing it at the Como Zoo up in Minneapolis. St. Paul, Minneapolis. Look at these beautiful flamingos, salmon color, hanging out with these amazing Midwestern ducks. Just crazy. So there's mallards in there, there's white-faced whistling ducks, there's the common shell duck. These are Chilean flamingos. There's also supposed to be a red-breasted goose in there somewhere, but I don't know where they are. So David and I are now in the tropical encounter, and I see western painted turtles. I see a snapping turtle, but I saw a huge arowana, which is over there floating around. So an arowana is a fish from the Amazon, and it looks just like an eel, but it's not, it's a fish. Anyway, it's one of my favorite fishes in the world. But in here are beautiful tropical birds, and you can see plants, of course. But we have here the songbirds. So this is kind of like a jungle adventure. Think of it that way. You see the trees loaded with bromeliads or epivites. Wow, look at that. Just incredible. Wouldn't you like to have those in your garden? You often see these for sale at Home Depot. Look at this little guy over here. He's gorgeous. Now I see a humongous snake in there.
Holy shit. Look at that.
It looks like an anaconda. This guy I would not want to meet. This guy looks like an anaconda that could swallow a horse or something. He is gigantic. I can't find his head. But look at him under the water.
Head's down there.
Oh yeah, the head's way down in there. You can see it. Why not? These are tropical. There's cichlids in here. Oh, David found him. David found the frog. There he is. A cute little jungle frog. This is the snake. There you go. That's what kind of snake that is. Scary. But look at these beautiful fish. So these are fish that you would see down in South America predominantly.
Oh, and then that's how they. Oh, okay. I see.
Beautiful colors. Huge. Some of these are piranha. Some of these would not be good to get in with, I'll tell you that. Oh yes, tarantulas, they're our favorite. These things love to live on the bananas. And oh yes, another snake back here. So there he is. He's got beautiful markings on him. But I'm sure I wouldn't want to meet up with that dude either. Not my thing. Oh, look at the birds. Aren't they lovely? So they probably put out some bird seed to get them to come down. But they're down in with the tortoises, of course. Why not? But these are beautiful songbirds. The tortoise looks super duper happy down there. And you can see he's not eating lettuce. He's eating plants with nutrients. Definitely happy in his little environment. Little textures and plantings. And the birds really stand out, don't they, in this environment. And that's a wrap for this travel adventure with David and Deborah. Watch us on Cox Channel 22, stream us on Spotify and YouTube, and listen to us on your favorite podcast stations for Apple, Amazon, and many more. This is listener supported. We appreciate your contributions. Please feel free to contribute through Spotify and YouTube.